What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Respect and Pray Show. I am your host, Miguel Mike Medina, Triple M. And on this episode, I have someone who has a decade of experience in the media and TV production industry. I mean, this man has done from directing local news to working for shows on ESPN. He's the head of the broadcast of the athletics department at Yale University. He has attended an impressive school, Full Sail University, which I learned the first time I heard about it was through sportscaster Dan Patrick. His body of work is just phenomenal. And on this interview, you're going to learn so much about him from where he started all the way to where he is now. And I can't forget that he's a Sports Emmy Award winner. So stay tuned because this is going to be a good interview. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to present to you Alex Peneyro. Alex, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate the invite.
For sure, man. So I want to start from the top. When did you knew that you wanted to work in sports media?
Yeah, that so I knew that I wanted to work in TV, video, media, pretty much the whole media branch of communications. I knew from early age. I want to say 5, 6 years old. I grew up I'm originally from the Bronx, New York. Go Yankees. But I grew up in Dominican Republic when I was 3. My mom and I ended up moving to Dominican Republic. And I always say this, and I feel like no one ever remembers this. There was a TV channel called Warner Brothers Channel, I believe, something like that. And a lot of the times they would actually show like they would have movies and all that, obviously. But there would be parts of the day or so where it was kind of guided more towards kids. I want to say like it was like weekend mornings or something. I can't recall that far. But they would have also they would do featurettes on behind the scenes of movies. The one that I can remember right at the top of my head was when Jurassic Park came out. They you watch the movie, then they would give you the optical illusions on how you could film at home and still be able to do effects, practical effects as they do for these big scenes. And it was something cool where like you had the camera here, and then very close to the camera you would put like a dinosaur, and then the kid would stand 10 feet back, and it looks like the dinosaur, since it's closer to the camera, it's huge. But then the person that's like 10 feet out looks much smaller. And I thought that was just fascinating. I remember Titanic came out and they showed how, spoiler alert, they had Leo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet in this big pool, and everything was just green screen. I'm pretty sure it was blue. Everything was blue. But like it was showing you some of the behind the scenes on how they do these effects and how movies are made, and like that blew my mind. And I remember I was like, wow, like that is so cool. I want to do that. And I was like 5, 6, 7 years old, somewhere around there. And that's when I knew that that's something I really wanted to do. But it wasn't until much later on that I finally got to get a taste of it. And I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. Yeah. But I would say around 6 years old, I kind of knew that working in TV was what I wanted to do.
And you certainly got a taste of that when you
Yeah.
attended not well before you doing what you're doing, you attended Full Sail University.
I
I
did.
first I first heard of every time I think about Full Sail, I think
Mm-hmm.
about that I think about Dan Patrick
Yep.
because I found out through the school through him. So you graduated there. What
Mm-hmm.
was so essential about the school that made you want to attend there, and was it worth it?
Was it worth it? Definitely. It still sucks though that I have that student loan. It's a pretty big bill that I have to pay, but definitely worth it. I was in I want to say sophomore year of high school when a representative came to my high school. I was in the TV production class. I was kind of like when I first got my first taste of broadcasting, and I knew that I wanted to do that at least for a hobby. It felt a lot of fun for an elective at school. But a representative came out, and I mean, just the thought of a whole school where you're learning what you're going to actually be doing. I don't have to take the Renaissance of the 1800s, abstract art, or calculus. Although I'm actually pretty good with math, but I didn't have to take any of the other stuff that would distract me from what I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn how to make movies, how to make TV shows, sports, broadcasting, show production. All of it actually just sounded amazing. I want to say my junior year, I went twice because I was living down in Florida. So I had my mom drive me once, and then I went with my cousin because then I was trying to get him into music production because he was pretty good with music. But I went the first time to the actual campus and did the tour and everything my junior year, and like it was just amazing. I actually also saw three of my previous like high school classmates that we were together in TV production. They were seniors. I was a sophomore. Next year, I'm a junior. They're already in at Full Sail. And while I'm doing the tour, I see them and I get to talk to them, and I ask them, like, how is it over here? And like they're telling me it's great. You get to learn what you're going to be doing. You're working with equipment that you might not work with right off the bat, but it's equipment that they use in the professional world of media production. So I was like, this is my school. I need to go here. A really good story that I have was, so then I fast forward to my senior year. I've done actually pretty well with my grades, and I go into the career advisor's office at my high school. I explained to her, hey, I need help, raising up grants and funds so I can go. I know it's a private school and it's expensive. This was around 2008, so it was around the time where excuse me, it was around the time that the house bubble and everyone was kind of going through a hard time. My parents as well were going through a hard time, so I knew money was going to be tight. So I need to find a way. She told me, "Oh, don't waste your time. You're not going to find any money. You might as well just try to go to a community college and just give up that dream of going into show production or video and all that stuff." She waved me off. I was mad. The one thing to tell me is don't do something, because I'm going to be like, oof, I'm going to prove you wrong now. Unfortunately, I think my confidence took a bit of a hit after that, and I was lost for a bit. But fast forward, I was 18, so fast forward 7 years or so. I'm 25. I've been able through my early 20s gather a good amount of experience that got me some leeway into getting to the industry. Got a job into broadcasting. It was my first job in broadcasting. I was a production assistant for about 8 months, and I started training to become a newscast director. And the my boss at the time was like, "Hey, I can't promote you to director unless you're either you have a degree or you're attending a school and going to finish it." So that kind of put a fire in me to, okay, well, if I go ahead and start working towards, getting my degree, I will be at the position where a lot of people, after they finish, have to work towards years to be able to then afford, get that. Like I'll be able to be in school, but also be directing and kind of made it or whatever. So I was like, okay, this is a risk worth taking. So I went ahead and applied to Full Sail because there was no other choice for me. I was like, I'm gonna do Full Sail. I actually did the online course, so it was great because I was able to stay where I was, do all my work, and not have to up and move anywhere or start all over and whatnot. But it was great. I did the media communications program, and I felt like it was one of the best ones to really give me a well-rounded experience in everything that is media communications. I never wanted to be a one-trick pony. Like I don't want to just do TV and just kind of fall into that. I wanted to be able to at least know some how to do graphic design, marketing, all these other avenues in case my later on in my journey it takes me that way. Totally worth it. I finished within 2 years. Graphic design was the hardest for me because I'm not good, but at least I know how to do flyers and some marketing stuff with graphic design. But it was great. I wish I wasn't able to do the sports broadcasting. I think that came on. One is just at Full Sail in campus, and two, I believe it came onto the program a couple years after either I was already in my program or it was a little bit afterwards that it was announced. But I've met with a lot of students from that program, and it seems like it's a great. I would love to be able to go down, but because COVID and all that stuff, I would love to be able to go down to campus and talk with some of the students and even Dan Patrick and everything. But I mean, a lot of the students that I've been kind of helping mentor. Now that I'm an alumni and I've done pretty well for myself, they seem to really know their stuff and be really passionate, which is something that I love. So Full Sail definitely worth it, and my time there has been amazing. The fact that I was able to kind of I wish just for the completion of that I wish I could speak with that career advisor and be like, oh, you said I couldn't make it. Oh, you said I couldn't go to Full Sail. Here you go. There's my diploma, and here's my resume of all the things that I have done. So
Baseball or basketball?
baseball.
Better right-handed, better right-handed pitcher, Justin Verlander or Max Scherzer?
Ooh, Scherzer.
Which team has a better chance to win, Houston or the Dodgers?
I hate this one because I'm a Yankee guy. I would say Dodgers.
Which event you would like to cover, a World Series game or a Super Bowl?
Ooh, World Series. Yeah, definitely World Series. I love baseball.
Same here.
Yeah.
Last but not least, better third baseman, Manny Machado or Nolan Arenado?
Nolan. Yeah, Nolan.
You certainly have gone to do great things. You've won a Sports Emmy Award. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You won on. You worked at
Hold on,
ESPN.
hold on. Just because I want to do the flex. Stand by. I'll bring it. I was gonna bring it a little bit closer, but me unblur. Shows I'm a little Dominican boy from the Bronx. And got
Let's
this
go.
bad boy. It's awesome to be able to accomplish things like that. So
That's dope, man. Plátano Power in the house.
yeah, yep.
Yeah. But man, that's amazing, man.
Thank you.
I gotta mention you worked at ESPN
Yes.
as associate director for 3 years.
Yep.
ESPN is a behemoth, so I can only imagine, and that's great, to have that on your resume.
Yep.
So, to sum it all up, where can we follow you on social media and continue your journey?
Yeah. So on LinkedIn, you can find me under Alex Pineyro. My Instagram, it's a good question. I'm really bad with social media. I don't even know my handles, but AD_Pineyro. That's my my Instagram. I'm not on Twitter. I feel like I'm a little too old. I've made 3 attempts to be on Twitter, and it's just too much for me. So I don't have a Twitter, but LinkedIn, you can always find me. I post a lot of my professional stuff there for sure, and then Instagram just a little bit more private, and just share stuff.
I gotta mention this.
Yep.
From ESPN, you went to Yale University,
Yes.
in which you're the director of broadcast services. So, how was the transition like, and how do you feel right now at this point in your career?
Yeah. So I've been at Yale now for just a little under 3 months. It's been amazing. So I've been professionally doing media production, TV, all that for about 12 years. I'm 32, so I started around 20, really professionally. And yeah, so the last 3 years I spent it over at ESPN as an associate director. I won my sports Emmy for my contributions on Sports Center. I worked mostly the Sports Center at night. So for the past 2 years and a half, if you ever watched Sports Center, any night from Thursday to Monday, following big special events, I covered Sports Center after Super Bowls, NBA Finals, World Series, boxing fights, UFC fights. I kind of did a lot of that stuff. I worked a lot, obviously, during COVID, and it was amazing being able to work with all these professionals on making TV, even when kind of everything was the world had stopped, as everyone says. But I've always, not always, for the longest time, I've been someone that is a leader in the control room or part of the team. I've taken on that role, and it got to the point where, as I say, as a Dominican, I wanted, my kind of motto, what I tried to achieve in my entire career is, one, be successful, obviously, as a minority Dominican. I want to be at a point where I can help promote this industry into a avenue that is very achievable for us. You know, my mom, up until I won the Emmy last year, she still wanted me to get a real job. She wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer or, bank accountant or something, she still thought that this was a bit of a hobby that I was just making money in. She wasn't impressed by ESPN. She's Dominican. That means kind of nothing to her. She enjoyed the benefits of getting tickets to Disney. We were able to go to Disney for free for a couple of times. She's a big Disney fan, but other than that, she was like, I just don't get it. So I want to be able to have a platform where I can promote and expose younger generation of this is an avenue that you can take as a career. For me, I was just lucky. I was just lucky that I got bit by the bug when I was 6 years old, like I said earlier. I'm very stubborn. I'm very hard headed. So that was my plan, and that was my plan all along. I kind of had backups, but I remember at a very young age, my grandfather would say, if you're expecting to fail, you're opening up yourself to fail, because you're saying, well, if I fail, I can do this. I went in kind of full on into, I'm going to be successful in this. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to be successful at it. There was a lot of forks in the road in my life that as I've sat back and kind of tried to recall, there were a lot of forks in the road where I could have gone another way and life would be drastically different. But long story, I want to be able to be in a place where I can afford opportunities to others and kind of help in the new wave. I don't have a big ego. I love this industry, and I want to be able to help others fall in love or figure out if this is not what they want to do. Teach them something. I've for 12 years have had a really great career, and I can take some solace in saying, I did well, but I wanted to kind of pay it forward. That was my thing. 12 years ago, I started an internship where I was a candidate against, recent graduates of UCLA's film school, University of Miami. There were a bunch of like really top hitters, but the guy just chose me. All I had was high school credits, and he saw my resume. He called me. I killed it in the interview. Once I got to talk, it was much easier than just putting my name in a resume. And he gave me a shot. I ended up actually managing those interns. I ended up being the kind of like intern manager of 6 people. They were all college grads. I was just some kid off the streets in New York. So now I'm trying to. I've been a leader for many years. I haven't had the title. I know everything that it takes. So I worked in news broadcasting for a while before going to ESPN. And over there, at my very first station, I was offered the production manager, but I was already on my way to Charlotte. I went to Charlotte. I worked at the #1 station in Charlotte, top 25 TV market. Did great in the ABC. Then they ended up wanting to launch a local Telemundo broadcast, which for me, that's probably as great as the Emmy is. I think launching Telemundo in Charlotte is probably still up there because, again, Dominican. I love my culture. I'm very strong with my roots, and being a person that I helped build the studio, the control room. I mean, obviously there was a lot of people, engineers, IT, even my production manager, which is a great mentor of mine. There were a lot of people, but me being the one to kind of really take the reins in that whole project, that was an amazing feeling. And then I went to ESPN. I was very lucky. I also earned it though. Within 8 months, I got thrown into SportsCenter, and my whole thing was, if no one yells at me tonight, that means I'm doing a good job, and I just got to keep going. And for 2.5 years, Sports Emmys later, I was one of their top contributors. I also was the lead for the relaunch of NHL on ESPN. I still know nothing about hockey, but man, it is amazing. Enjoyed watching it, enjoyed working on ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN Plus, doing that whole project, being the leader in so many facets that I had to organize and really spearhead was amazing. And I look back and I'm like, why have I always taken the role of the leader, but I haven't gotten that opportunity yet. Then on LinkedIn, I was actually approached by someone saying, hey, this is an opportunity out there. Would you be interested? I started looking at it. And, director of broadcast, so Yale University has 32 different teams, varsity and club sports. Out of those 32, they broadcast 24, 25 of those sports. And the director of broadcast is kind of a new role, but I'm in charge of staffing for play-by-play commentators and color analysts, which I got to work with a lot of those people for during my time at ESPN. Crewing my staff, I need the technical director, producer, audio, cameras, replay, graphics, all that stuff. I did all those positions as well, so I know what it takes to put on a show. We have 4 control rooms. I've built control rooms before. I know how to spearhead projects. I know what equipment we kind of need. I was also ESPN is part of the Ivy League, Yale University is part of the Ivy League conference, and Ivy League has a contract with ESPN to have their games broadcast on ESPN Air. I know what ESPN is looking for, so I know what we should be working towards. So it kind of just felt like, and I've done sports, I love sports. It just felt like the right kind of time and position to take to be that full-on leader and have that role. So I decided to apply. It went by really well. It kind of sucked. I felt like I still had unfinished things at ESPN. But it also felt like this opportunity at Yale was something that I had a job offer for a production manager at my first TV station. I had a job offer of a production assistant manager at the station that I worked at in Charlotte. And I passed those up for other opportunities, and I was like, then I started looking, and I spoke with my fiance, making sure that it makes sense for our family, and it just felt like the right time for me to take that dive and become that leader, be able to hire people who are like new to the industry, and they might have some interest. They want to know what it takes, how to do it. And also to just elevate the production at Yale to a more professional level, where maybe other schools don't quite know because they haven't been on the other side. They haven't been on that ESPN side to kind of know what they're looking for. They kind of hear secondhanded. I know I have actually some of the directors that want to be able to come over and help out. So that's why I ended up taking the position, and I mean, it's been amazing. It's a lot of work. I'm a department of one, but it's been very enjoyable. Everyone there is amazing. Go Bulldogs! And I'm very happy with that transition and going into. I mean, I'm still in sports broadcasting, but I'm definitely taking that managerial, supervisor role. And it's been very rewarding so far. Yesterday we had our first broadcast, and then I'll have another one tomorrow. And it's been amazing working also with technicians and engineers on getting video boards, how we're working things. So it's been great.
Alex, thank you so much for taking time to do this interview with me. I'm happy for you as a fellow Latino, as a fellow Dominican. I salute you, bro. I salute you, man.
Thank you.
And, much praise and respect. That's what this show is all about.
Yes.
And we'll be continuing to see what you're gonna be doing more in
Yes,
the
thank you.
future, and like I said, pa'lante, keep it
Mhm.
going.
All right. If anyone ever wants, any advice breaking into the industry, I went the long way around, but I also, not to brag or anything, but I have done very well. So if you want to hit me up on LinkedIn, Alex Pineyro, hit me up. I love talking to people and just giving advice, giving some clarity on what a specific avenue kind of looks like. I've done a little bit of everything. I mean, I've been doing sports broadcasting now for about 4 years, but I've done news broadcasting. I've worked also on creative shoots. I've done wedding videography for a couple years, which was amazing. Great company down in Florida. Fellow Full Sail graduate is the owner and really good friend of mine. I've done music videos, feature films, independent films, trailers, name it. I've kind of done it all during my early 20s, but I've met a lot of people. So I've thankfully been very well about creating a very great big network of connections that I'm all but willing to try to connect you with someone. The very least I can do is introduce you to someone, and then hopefully take someone's able to take it from there. So always trying to help, that paying it forward. That's what it's all about.
Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget. And like I always say, guys, have mutual respect, mutual love, and mutual admiration. So stay tuned for the next episode.